Hi, I'm Sam Palazzolo. Welcome to this week's Scaling Strategy Deep Dive. Today we're talking about why diversity and inclusion is not just about fairness, not just about optics. It's one of the most powerful growth levers you've probably been ignoring. So let's start with the numbers. And fair warning, these numbers should sting a little. Up first, companies with gender diverse executive teams are 25% more likely to outperform on profitability. That's from McKinsey. Add ethnic and cultural diversity, and that number jumps to 36%. Firms with above average leadership diversity, they generate 19 percentage points more revenue from innovation. And that's from the Boston Consulting Group. And here's the kicker. 76% of job seekers say they evaluate employers based on diversity, and that's from Glassdoor. Now, if you're a leader and those stats don't get your heart rate up, then maybe it's time to step aside, because this isn't a soft values conversation. This is about hard numbers, profit, innovation, and talent. Now, here's the reality check, folks. Most organizations treat diversity and inclusion like a side project. HR runs a training, someone hangs a poster, the CEO nods in approval, maybe posts something on LinkedIn, and then it's business as usual. The result? Diversity looks fine on paper, but inclusion is missing in practice. People feel they don't have a voice. They don't see themselves in leadership, promotions stall, and eventually, the talent you most need, it walks right out the door. This is where frustration sets in. Leaders say, "We tried it. It didn't work." Employees say, "It's performative. It's fake." And the truth is, both sides are right, because the initiative wasn't treated like a business priority. Scaling without inclusion is like building a skyscraper on sand. The higher you go, the shakier it gets. So how do you fix it? You stop treating diversity and inclusion like an HR side hustle and start treating it like you treat revenue, with accountability, with metrics, and with discipline. The World Economic Forum and McKinsey studied the programs that actually worked. They found 5 factors that consistently drove impact. They call it the Lighthouse framework, because these are the bright spots that guide the way. Here's how it works. First, diagnose root causes. Most leaders assume the problem is hiring, but often the real blockage is at promotion, pay, equity, or sponsorship. Don't assume, measure. Second, define success. Vague goals like "we'll do better" don't cut it. You need hard, numeric targets tied to business outcomes. For example, we'll increase representation in senior product management from 18 to 28% in 12 months. 3. Make leaders accountable. This cannot sit with HR. Line leaders and profit and loss owners, they need skin in the game. Tie their performance reviews and, yes, their compensation to outcomes. Fourth, design for context. What works in one function, geography, or role work everywhere. Your sales org may need diverse candidate slates. Your product org may need structured promotion rubrics. And fifth, track and course correct. You need dashboards. You need monthly reviews. You need the same operating rhythm you'd need to apply to sales pipeline and product velocity. Now here's the persuasion kicker. Frameworks don't move the needle by themselves. Leaders have to model inclusion behaviors. Deloitte calls them the 6 traits of inclusive leadership: commitment, courage, cognizance of bias, curiosity, cultural intelligence, and collaboration. If leaders don't show up differently, if they don't ask new voices for input, challenge groupthink, and sponsor talent, the systems doesn't change. Culture follows leadership, right? So let me make this real. A product leadership team I worked with, they thought that they had a recruiting problem. They weren't seeing diverse candidates in senior roles. But when we dug into the data, the real choke point wasn't at hiring. It was at promotions. Women and underrepresented employees were taking on tough assignments, but when promotion committees met, they lacked sponsor advocacy. The result? Stalled careers. So we applied the Lighthouse framework. We diagnosed the problem with data and employee feedback. We defined success, improved promotion velocity by 25% in 12 months. We made the product general manager accountable, tied it to their bonus. We designed sponsor assignments and structured evaluation rubrics. And we tracked progress with dashboards and reviewed them quarterly. Within a year, they achieved promotion parity. Attrition dropped, and 2 new product features, sourced directly from voices that hadn't been heard before, drove higher net promotion scores and better win rates. Was all of that because of diversity and inclusion? Not entirely, but the system they built expanded their idea surface area, and that led to better decisions and stronger results. So let's wrap this up. Diversity and inclusion isn't charity work. It isn't a PR stunt. It's a scaling strategy. It gives you more ideas, better hires, stronger innovation, and higher profits. The playbook is clear. Pick one role family. Stand up one lighthouse. Publish one dashboard. Review it monthly like revenue. Do that, and you'll move from good intentions to measurable income. Thanks for joining me. I'm Sam Palazzolo. For the full article resource, check out my diversity and inclusion article. It's titled Diversity and Inclusion as a Scale Enabler, and it's available on the Javelin Institute. The link is in this clip notes. And don't forget to sign up for my business scaling newsletter at sampalazzolo.com. That link is also in the show notes. Remember, Sam Palazzolo, real strategy, real results.